Harry S. Dent, an accurate economic forecaster for the last 20 years, said, "The first and last depression you will experience in your lifetime is just ahead." By the middle of 2010, he's predicting America will be in a full-blown depression, which will last for a decade. The leadership of Idaho can continue to act as if this is not true by balancing the budget with nearly depleted state emergency funds, loans from the federal government that must be paid back, and budget holdbacks and cuts to vital services. Or we can elect new leadership that will be proactive and establish new policies that will stimulate Idaho's economy and minimize, possibly, the worst financial crisis in Idaho history. How will we do this? If I'm the next governor of Idaho, I will make my case and advocate to the Idaho legislature that an immediate and historic tax cut be implemented. 4 times in the last century, American presidents have faced recessionary economies and have turned the tide with tax cuts. One time, an American president, Franklin Roosevelt, faced a recession, and instead of cutting taxes to stimulate the economy, he raised taxes and turned the recession into a decade-long depression. I will propose for immediate stimulus to Idaho's economy and to prevent the catastrophic consequences of the depression, that personal and corporate income taxes be eliminated completely. Wyoming and Nevada have no personal or corporate income tax and rank 2nd and 4th in the United States as having the best business tax climate. Idaho currently ranks number 1 in the Northwest and 13th in the United States in highest state and local tax burden. This must be changed to not only entice out-of-state businesses to come to Idaho, but to keep Idaho businesses solvent and in existence. In order to balance Idaho's budget without personal and corporate income tax revenues, I will propose another historic move in Idaho policy by advocating that public education, K through 12, be moved out of state control back to the local districts. Funding at the local level will be accomplished by revenue sharing of the state's sales tax receipts and local budgeting, using monies provided by the elimination of personal and corporate income tax. It is a well-established and accepted Republican principle of government that the closer government is to the people, the higher the quality and the more efficient. Programs like No Child Left Behind and state-mandated tests, along with their bureaucratic expenses, will be eliminated. Idaho's education system is top-heavy and inefficient. By moving the responsibility back to the local level, our quality of education for our children will be greater and the expenses less. Now, while we're changing things, it is also time to change the way we take care of the poor and unfortunate. 1 out of every 4 Idahoans is receiving some kind of welfare. This must be stopped. Our citizens are becoming slaves to our government. They are forgetting how to take care of themselves. We must teach our people how to become self-reliant. By making Idaho one of the most business-friendly states in the Union, by elimination of personal and corporate income tax, employment opportunities will be created for many of our citizens who currently are living off welfare. For the citizens who cannot work and still need help, we must shift this responsibility to the local level. This responsibility rightfully belongs to our local charities. I believe the compassion of the people will not fail our most vulnerable citizens. Our goal must be the elimination of the need for welfare from the government. And finally, something the governor has needed to do since Idaho became a state. If you elect me to be your next governor, I will challenge the federal government on the rightful ownership of our public lands. Their withholding of our state ownership and control over our public lands has been the greatest states' rights violation in American history. Public lands belong to the people of the state. I will be relentless until the day when Idaho is completely independent and sovereign from the federal government. I promise you, I will force them to respect our 10th Amendment states' rights. By moving K through 12 education and welfare away from the federal and state government control, we will eliminate most of the need for state taxes. By gaining control over our public lands, more jobs will be created, our forests will be healthier, and our big game herds magnificent. Our greatest problem in the future, if I am your governor, and the legislature will act upon my bold and novel ideas, is Idaho will have to deal with a mass migration into our state. People will flock to Idaho to live in a state where taxes are low, Government is limited, and people are free and prosperous.